Calling all authors, the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, hosted by Robert A. Lane, is on the air, featuring everything you need to know about narrating your own audiobook. But it doesn't stop there. From special guests, including authors and professionals from the book industry, to sharing tools and techniques needed to be a confident and compelling narrator. The journey starts now. So please welcome your host, Robert A. Lane.
All right, welcome to the podcast. Glad you're here. I am Robert A. Lane, your host of the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. I'm an audiobook coach and producer. That's what I do for a living and love doing it, helping nonfiction authors and also fiction authors as well, turning your book into an audiobook. Very important for you to do. And I love it when authors decide, you know what, I got this great book. It's out there. Now I want to have it in my own voice, telling my story in audiobook form. Beautiful. That's a great decision because you are the CEO of you. One of my infamous catchphrases, you are the CEO of you. And that is a great business decision to move your author brand forward because you are an author brand, of course, and you're an entrepreneur. So embrace entrepreneurship. It's a beautiful thing, especially as an author where you can express yourself. You have a great story to tell. You put it out there in the world, and now you've decided to turn it into an audiobook. That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome, which of course leads into our topic for today, which is sound like a narration pro. How do you sound like a narration pro? Maybe you've never done any type of public speaking or anything like that. Maybe you're very apprehensive about stepping in front of a microphone, even if it's in your own recording space. Maybe you feel a little nervous. Maybe it's intimidating. And for a lot of people, it is intimidating to record your voice and put it out there for the world to hear. So how do you sound like a narration pro? We're going to talk about that, and let's just dive right in, all right? The one thing that is a key factor to doing a great audiobook narration, and again, I'm a big advocate that you do, especially for nonfiction authors, narrate your own audiobook. You need to tell your story because it's your story. You lived it, you've breathed it, you've experienced it. And now you need to tell it in your own voice, coming from the source, coming from the person who lived it, who wrote that book. You did. You did, the author, telling your story, because no one can tell your story better than you. No one can. You really can't. Because a narrator, as professional as they are, will sound technically great, but they didn't live your story. You did. So there are going to be subtleties and aspects of how they interpret your story. They're going to interpret it their way. And they may not express it in a way that maybe that's not how you would say it. So it's important for you to narrate your own audiobook, okay? So how do you sound like a narration pro? Well, the first thing, and a lot of pros, I say every pro does this, and it all starts with mindset. And with mindset comes confidence. You got to be confident when you're narrating your audiobook. You got to walk into your studio. If you're in the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program, which is the audiobook coaching program that I've created and that I teach. I have two versions of it, by the way. There's the do-it-yourself version, and then there is the VIP program, which you work with me one-on-one. So whether you're in the do-it-yourself or the VIP, you're going to get all the tools that you need to do a great audiobook narration. There are links, by the way, in the description on the podcast, so you can check it out. But we'll dive into that later. Right now, I just want to get into what you need to do to sound like a pro. And it is mindset. It really is having that confidence to step up to the mic and tell your story. That's what narrators do. They are totally confident in their voice. So again, number one, you got to love your voice. Love your voice. Love this wonderful sound that comes out of your body, right? That's part of who you are. That is part of your author brand. That is a crucial element of your author brand. It really is. You have okay, let's define the author brand. What is an author brand? It's everything. And I mean everything that encompasses who you are, how you were brought up, your belief systems, your habits, your morals, your values, your personality, your sense of humor, and especially your voice. These are all components, All of these components create your author brand because your author brand is really who you are as a person. And to preserve the integrity of your author brand, that's why you narrate your own audiobook. That's why you are the narrator. You're the person to tell your story, especially if it's nonfiction. And even as a fiction writer, if your book is written as a narrative, or maybe you just have a handful of characters and you're telling a story, it could be fictional, that's fine. You don't need to have crazy voices for every single character that you have in your book. You can still tell your story. And you know what? It comes down to content. What is it that you're saying? That's what pulls your listeners in. That's what keeps them engaged. But to sound like a pro, that's going to guarantee that those listeners are sitting on the edge of their seat, loving every single word, hanging on to every single word that you're saying when you're narrating your audiobook. You can't speak like a pro. And again, number one, confidence. Confidence, loving your voice, believing in your voice. Crucial, very crucial. It does start with mindset. It really does. And with that, the other thing is be yourself. I know you've probably heard this a million times. You got to be your true, authentic self. You absolutely do, though. It's true. You got to be your true, authentic self because that is, again, part of your author brand. Remember, everything about you that encompasses the person that you are is your author brand. Everything. So how you speak, how you deliver your message is a crucial part of your author brand, that delivery, right? Confidence, love your voice, appreciate this wonderful sound that comes out of your body, all right? Because that is part of who you are. And that is what allows you to stand out in the crowd. That's what makes you, you. That's what makes you so unique. So love your voice and be confident in your voice. Now, if there's something that is stopping you from narrating your own audiobook, maybe it's a fear. And you know what? 9 out of 10 times it does come down to a fear. Every client that I've worked with, whether in the VIP program or even the clients who do sign up for the do-it-yourself program, I get this question all the time about how do you build confidence? Or I hear this phrase, I hate my voice. I don't like how I sound. No. False belief, my friends. False belief. Don't believe that. That's not true. And I get it, right? When you hear your voice, you're hearing it from the inside out. When you play it back, you're hearing it from the outside in. And 9 out of 10 times, I guarantee you, people are like, oh, geez, I sound like that. Yeah, you do. And you know what? It's beautiful. It's great. That's why you got to love and appreciate your voice. And that's where the confidence comes in. But if there's something that is stopping you, if there is a wall, if there is a barrier, there is something that is causing, some type of fear. And the fear could be, and I know people say this, oh, I hate my voice, but the fear really is, I don't think they're going to like how I sound. No, you got to get rid of that false belief because that is not true. It's not true. Love and appreciate that voice. Get rid of that fear. Maybe there was something that happened in your life. Maybe if you think about it and go, when I was a kid and my parents would have friends over and they have a little party and they would make me, sing in front of everybody or recite a poem or do something that I didn't want to do and I didn't feel comfortable with it and I was forced to do it. Well, guess what? That's a traumatic experience, and that does have an effect on your psyche, right? That does have an effect on your mindset, and that can be one of the barriers that is stopping you from having that confidence in your voice. It happens. I get it. I'll share a story with you. It's not voice related, but when I was a kid, I tried out for Little League. Wanted to play baseball. I thought I'd get into the Pee Wee League where you have the little you put the ball on the little stand. I forget what you call it. The tee, right? T-ball, right? That's what it was. And, but I guess in the tryouts, I did pretty good. So they moved me up. They moved me up into the Little League division and I skipped T-ball. So cool. But I was the youngest player in the entire league because they moved me up. And, everything was okay. I played well, for the most part, but I couldn't hit the ball. There was some barrier, mental barrier, that I just couldn't do it. I'd get up to bat and I would either strike out or get walked. I could never connect with the ball. At practice, I was able to, but not during games. Weird. I don't know why. It was just one of those things. And it crushed me. It was a tough thing to deal with. It really was. And I was so devastated that the only time I made connection with that baseball was a foul tip backwards. And that was it. That was it. And that was the end of my baseball career, because after that, I was so crushed. I was so disappointed as a kid that I couldn't hit the ball that I never wanted to play baseball again, even though I did great in all the other positions that I was in, infield, outfield, pitching, whatever. Did a great job. And they even called and said, hey, we want you to come back and play the next season. And I wouldn't do it. Now, my parents would force it. Well, it was really my mom. She was forcing me to do it. Come on, you got to do it. And I didn't want to do it. Luckily, my dad stepped in and said, look, don't force the kid to do something he doesn't want to do. And that was a good thing. Well, yes and no. It was a good thing because he was placating my fear. But it was a bad thing because I never played baseball again. And maybe I could have been great at it. I don't know. But the point is that there was a fear that was instilled in me that stopped me from doing something that I would have enjoyed doing. Same thing when you're recording your audiobook. If there is a fear that is stopping you from doing something that is so great, by taking your book to the next level, by having it as an audiobook, what a great thing. Don't let a barrier stop you. Don't let a fear stop you. And if you do have a fear, another one of my catchphrases I'm going to throw out to you when it comes to dealing with fear, and that is this: face it, embrace it, purge it, replace it. All right? 4 steps. You face your fear. You acknowledge it. I'm not going to get into the whole route. There's a whole thing about it, but let me just give you the overview. Right? You face your fear. Now you embrace it, not confront it. Confront it is confrontation. Confrontation is negative. You don't want that. You want positive. You want positivity. So you're embracing your fear. And that means that you are acknowledging it and that you are getting down to the root cause of what it is that is making you afraid or causing this barrier. Now you're going to purge it. That's part 3, right? Face it, embrace it, purge it, which means you're moving the fear aside. And now part 4 is replace. Replace that fear with positive affirmations, with things that you tell yourself that you need to believe, okay? It's one thing to say, I have a great voice. I love my voice. I'm a great narrator. My story is freaking awesome. No one can tell my story better than me. Those are great affirmations. Make a list of 10, right? Print them out, put them everywhere, right? So you can see them and read them. But the key here is that it's more than just seeing and reading. You got to believe. You have to believe in these affirmations. You believe it. And once you feel it, then you'll believe it. Then your subconscious will believe it. And that's where the whole, I forget the term, but basically you are rewiring your subconscious. It's there's a term. I forget. But you're rewiring your subconscious, okay? You're rewiring your subconscious to believe in these affirmations. It takes time, and you need to do it. You need to do it every day and be consistent. But that's how you deal with fear, okay? So you want to sound like a pro? Love your voice, appreciate your voice, have confidence, okay? The second thing that you need to do is just be you. I know I mentioned earlier about being your true, authentic self. Absolutely. You got to be a true, authentic self. Be who you are. That is, again, what allows you to stand out in the crowd, because you are unique. Your author brand is unique. Think about it, right? Let's say you're a coach. Let's say you're a weight loss coach and you have a weight loss coaching program. And here's weight loss coaching program A, weight loss coaching program B. You got 2 coaches. They're equally qualified. Maybe they teach pretty similar methods. But why does one client go to one coach over the other? It's because of their unique personality. It's because of who they are. That's the analogy when it comes to your author brand. It is so unique. You are so unique that people are drawn to you. And that's what makes you unique, and that's what allows you to stand out in the crowd. And that's why, Weight Loss Coach A has these clients, a Weight Loss Coach B has those clients, because those clients resonate with one of those coaches, okay? Someone who's listening to your audiobook is going to resonate with you. That's why you got to be your true, authentic self. So that means you don't try to force yourself to sound like somebody else or be somebody else, or think you have to, be like radio DJ person and talk like this because I'm going to tell my story like, no, that's fake. It's not authentic. And you know what? That's going to turn off a listener like that. Going to turn them off. They want to hear you tell your story. That's the draw. That's why people love your book. That's why people are reading your book, because in their mind, they're hearing a voice as they read along. So it might as well be your voice telling your story coming from the source. That's what makes it so unique. So be your true, authentic self. Those intangibles are what makes for a great narration, and that's how you sound like a pro. Remember, and I know it takes time. I remember back when I started working in the radio business. I've worked 30 plus years in the entertainment industry in a variety of jobs. Started off in radio. Audio has always been my thing anyway. And then I ended up working, my last 14 years was at 20th Century Fox in Los Angeles, working on the studio lot before I decided to, before I left the business and then started Robert Lane Coaching as an audiobook coach and producer. But the point is that it does take time. Okay. I remember when I was working in radio and I started to do voiceover for commercials and things of that nature. And it took a while. It took a while to actually sound conversational. And that's just practice. Okay. Just with anything. So you will, and you will hit that pinnacle of one day, things are just going to snap and fall into place and go, wow, I get it. Now I'm sounding conversational. Now I'm sounding natural. Now I'm telling my story like a pro does, like a professional narrator does. You will hit that point. You will hit that point. So that's how you sound like a pro, by being not only your true, authentic self, but being conversational. Think of it this way. You're sitting in a coffee house with your best friend. You have this great story, which is the book that you've written, and now you're going to narrate it, right? So you're sitting across from your best friend and you're telling him this story, and you're bringing all those intangibles, the emotion, the feelings, everything about the story that you're telling. You're sharing it with that friend, and it's very conversational, and you can see they're all wide-eyed and really engaged in what you're saying in that story that you're telling. That's how you do your narration, and that's what the pros do. And you know what else they do that you can do, which is really simple, is that when you're telling your story, when you're narrating your audiobook, all right, have somebody specific in mind. Have somebody specific, a real person. And I mean specific, not, my genre is this and I'm hitting this target audience, blah, blah, blah. No, somebody specific. I am talking to my best friend, George, and I'm telling him my story. Or I'm sitting and talking to my best friend, Gina, and I'm telling her my story. Or whoever it is. Visualize them, have a picture of them, right? Because when you do that, then you're being conversational, you're being authentic, you're being natural, and you're going to be more relaxed. And you won't sound reedy. You won't sound very mechanical or monotone. I mean, I've heard audiobooks where people are just like, and then and it's just like this drone of a voice. No, because they didn't take the time to put themselves in the right frame of mind before they hit that record button. And you will, okay? You will. That's how you sound like a pro. Again, love your voice, be natural, be comfortable, appreciate this wonderful sound that comes out of your body. And then the final thing, of course, is practice. Practice. Yes, you got to practice. So when you go record your audiobook, let's say you're going to work on chapter 5. All right, so today we're recording chapter 5. So go over it, read it out loud, refamiliarize yourself with your book. and then record it. Record a little piece of it and see how it sounds. But stay out of your head, okay? Don't overthink it. Professionals don't overthink. They just get in there, they do it, and they do it because they have confidence. You walk in there and they do the job. And they'll technically sound great. But again, you're narrating your own audiobook because no matter how great that professional is, it's still their interpretation, not yours. That's why it's important for you, and it's crucial for your author brand that you do your own narration, and you can do it. Now, if you need some guidance, this is why I do what I do as an audiobook coach and producer. Robert Lane Coaching, I specialize in helping nonfiction authors and fiction authors as well narrate your own audiobook. Do it in your own voice. As I said at the top of the podcast, no one can tell your story better than you, which that's just a fact. No one can tell your story better than you. Again, you lived it, you breathed it. It's your experience, okay? You need to narrate your own audiobook. I have two versions of the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. I have the VIP version. That is where I work with you one-on-one. We work together. It's a 12-week program, and I take you through all the steps of setting up your own recording space, providing you with the professional equipment that you need to set up your professional recording space, because it will be. And I mean, a great microphone, great headphones, everything that you need. $500 worth of equipment is yours, and that's part of the program. You get to keep it forever. The next phase after the setup and preparation is we really do a deep dive on what it takes to do an awesome narration. And I'm there with you. We meet every week, and I'm there with you every step of the way. And then as you record your audiobook, you're sending your audio files to me, because the next phase is it has to be edited. It has to be cleaned up, and it has to meet the exact specifications for publication. Because if it doesn't, you will be rejected from Audible, Amazon, Apple, or any other distribution platform that you try to get your audiobook distributed on. Okay? Then I do all the editing for you. I do all the uploading for you, get you published, and it's done. 12 weeks, your audiobook is done. That's the VIP program. You work with me one-on-one. There's also the DIY program. Yeah, you get all the great information as well. It's just that it's a do-it-yourself. Now, I designed the course to be a 6-week course, but again, it's do-it-yourself, so you can do it at your own pace. All right? And all the tools are there. Everything, the video lessons, the downloadable PDF, reference materials, everything is there in the do-it-yourself program. You have all the tools you need. And I teach you how to do the editing, how to make sure that your audio meets the exact specifications for publication. So when you do upload your audio into Audible, Amazon, Apple, and any other distribution platform, which I teach you how to do that, you're in, right? It's done perfectly the first time. And that's super great, super important. So if you want more information about that, you can always go to robertlanecoaching.com. I talk about both programs, the do-it-yourself program and the VIP program. Do it, man. That's such a great thing for you to take your book to the next level. And that's a great decision that you've made as an author, right? You are promoting your author brand. You're preserving the integrity of your author brand by narrating your own audiobook, by doing it in your own voice. Again, your story is being told from the source. And the great thing is you're leaving a legacy. You're leaving your legacy for others to discover you. Years from now, 100 years from now, people will hear you tell your story in your own voice. That's pretty cool. Love it. So if you want more information, by the way, you can always book a call with me. There is a link that you can grab. It is in the description. But I'll tell you this as well. It's a bit.ly link, which is bit.ly/audiobook onboarding. All right. bit.ly/audiobook onboarding. That goes to my personal calendar. Book a call with me. I'd love to speak with you. Let's find out about your book. What do you want to do? Where do you want to be published? Because I do talk about marketing strategies as well. And then we get you enrolled. If the VIP program where you want to work with me one-on-one, and I'm there with you through the entire process and do all the editing for you and uploading your audio for you, done. Or if you want the do-it-yourself program, you can just go ahead and enroll. And you'll get started right away. All right. The other thing that I do want to share with you is that I do a coffee chat, by the way. I do a live coffee chat every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. in the UK. I keep it an open forum coffee chat. It's maybe like 15, 20 minutes long, not very long, but love to have you join. And you can catch it on my YouTube channel, which is Robert Lane Coaching, pretty simple, or my Instagram, which is Robert Lane Coaching, pretty simple, or on LinkedIn Live. So you can check that out. It's just a fun open forum show. I love taking your questions, and I love hearing from all of you where you share about your book. And we get to talk about your stories as well. So that's pretty cool. Just wanted to share that with you. All right. So again, you do have what it takes to sound like a pro. Believe in yourself, have confidence in yourself, love your voice, practice, of course. And again, have somebody specific in mind when you're doing your narration. And if there are any other fears or anything that is stopping you from narrating your own audiobook, remember, you are the one who's most qualified to narrate your audiobook. You are. No one else. You are. And you have the goods. You really do. You have what it takes to narrate a great audiobook. And I'll just say this real quickly, and that is, don't ever go AI. It's a misrepresentation of your author brand. It's not even you. It's not even real voice. It's not even you. And AI is soulless. You suck the soul out of your author brand, you've just destroyed the integrity of your author brand. You don't want to do that, okay? You, the author, are the number one person who is qualified to narrate your audiobook. Only you can tell your story the way it's meant to be heard, all right? Well, we're going to wrap things up here for the podcast. I do appreciate all of you. Again, if you have any questions or about the audiobook world, or you'd like to find out more about the Your Book, Your Voice Do-It-Yourself program or the Your Book, Your Voice VIP program, reach out to me. Go to robertlanecoaching.com and book a call. Love to talk with you. All right. And finally, my friends, I give it an assignment. I just do every time. And I really think it's a great thing to do this. And that is, when you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger, say hello to them, give them a compliment, right? It takes 5 seconds of time out of your life? Nothing, right? It's a blip. But that small gesture of kindness can make the world of difference in somebody's life, because you don't know what people are going through, right? We all wear a mask. We all have this mask that we wear. But deep down inside, there's people who are hurting. And it may be just more than, I'm having a bad day. And that small gesture of kindness can make the world of difference in somebody's life. So like I say, be a life changer. All right. If you have any questions or topics regarding the audiobook world that you'd like me to cover here on the podcast, just let me know. You can always reach out to me at robertlanecoaching.com. Love to hear from you. All right. With that, have a fantastic week. Again, join me for Coffee Chat Thursdays, every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. That's 4:30 p.m. on in the UK. And join me. Yeah, it's on Robert Lane Coaching on Instagram, and of course, Robert Lane Coaching on YouTube. Links are in the description. All right, my friends, have a fantastic week. We'll be talking to you on the next edition of the Your Book, Your Voice podcast.
This has been Your Book, Your Voice with host Robert A. Lane. Tune in each week for another powerful and informative episode. And remember, only you can narrate your story the way it's meant to be heard.